I'm going to ask you a question and I need you to be really honest with yourself. I want you to look back at this past week and think about all the things that you did. How much of, your to-do list or your action items actually got you closer or did get you more revenue or more clients? And how much of it was just busy work? I see this time, all the time. I have people coming to me saying, Kaitlin, I am exhausted. I am working on my website. I'm trying to launch a podcast. I am putting out content every single day. I am refining my lead magnet, whatever it might be. But I'm just not seeing results. I get it. I get it. And I know exactly what the problem is. The problem is you are not focusing on needle mover activities. I am going to share with you in this video the exact tool that I give my very VIP one-on-one clients and my very VIP embodied earner mastermind students. And let me tell you, when you activate this tool, it's going to be a game changer for you. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this. This is going to help you each week identify the things that you should be spending your energy on. This is really designed for those of you who have other roles to play in your life other than just business owner. And I'm going to be willing to bet that's a majority of you. Okay. So I am someone who is not going to waste your time. I purposefully keep these episodes very short and compact so that you get the information you need to go and implement into your businesses right away so that you can get that ROI. I am very much about taking real action that creates change and not just keeping you stuck in the weeds because ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Every single person who actually uses this tool and activates it has said how much it has changed the way they look at productivity. So let's break this down. The needle mover has several different phases. And if you're in my programs, I actually have a document that you can use every single week to break this down. But for those of you watching or listening, you're going to want to get a pen and paper so that we can really break out these different phases. If you're watching, you might see my eyes dart over to the left because that is where I have the framework for us to walk through because I don't want to miss a beat. The first thing I want you to do is brain dump everything. What this step does is actually gets everything that's swirling around inside of here out of our head and onto paper. The relationship we now have with those things feels much more logical and much more in control rather than when it's swirling around and we just can't get a grip on it. So that's why I have you brain dump. It helps us to be a little bit more decisive and to understand, oh my gosh, things weren't as big and scary as I thought they were. They are actually, this is manageable. Or sometimes we do a brain dump and we recognize, oh my God, there is a lot to do here. And we need to know what's the most important. So once you have everything out of your head that's sort of overwhelming you, that's bothering you, I want you to then look at all of those items and take a highlighter and highlight the activities that generate revenue or increase client experience. Those are two things I always prioritize. I want my current clients to be happy because it is way easier to keep a happy client than to go find a new one. And the second thing I prioritize is what are things that are going to bring me new clients, also known as leads, right? That is what I prioritize. If the activities fall outside of that scope, they do not get highlighted. So oftentimes I'm finding myself highlighting 5 or 6 items that bring me closer to generating revenue. That might be following up with leads, Those activities might look like finalizing, connecting with people who are signed up for a launch. It might be, creating a new way to get on a podcast and get into somebody else's audience. Things that usually don't get highlighted are the things that make your brand look more beautiful, right? So tweaking a website, changing your color scheme. I love all of those things, and I'm a huge fan of having something that feels beautiful and exciting. But when it comes to, okay, I need to work on something for a current client or go out and get a new client and tweaking a Canva project, I'm always going to choose the former. Okay. So that is the first part of all of this, is really getting everything out of your head. The second part here is identifying, out of all of those highlighted things, what are the 3 things? This is very important. Rule of 3. At any given time, our brain can really not handle more than that. So, what are the 3 things that you can identify that actually are going to move the needle, generate revenue, or make your clients happier? Okay, get you closer to where you want to be. The reason I like 3 is you are A, making something specific. So now you've set a goal. And B, when you get a wrench thrown at you and something comes up unexpected, you haven't mismanaged expectations. It's still very realistic most of the time to get those 3 activities done within a week's time. Okay. So you're going to name those 3 things, and then you're going to specify who is involved in this. Like, do I need someone else to review this? Is this a collaboration with someone? Maybe it's just you. And when am I going to do this week? Actually put it onto your calendar as if it is a doctor's appointment or one of your kids' sporting events or something you wouldn't miss. Because when it's on our calendar, it then becomes real. So that when someone says, hey, do you have Thursday at 4 open? No, I do not. You have your activity there. That is when you have planned that week to do that. And it becomes something that is a non-negotiable. Okay. When we bring in non-negotiable energy into our own business, you are going to see how it helps you start to thrive. The third thing that you're going to do, step number 3, is you're going to identify potential roadblocks. It's really important that we kind of think about, okay, if I want to, by 7 days from now, finish these 3 things, what are things that could happen that would derail me? When we pre-plan, it usually A, never happens, but B, if it does, we have a solution and we don't let it get us all fucked up, because that's the biggest thing. Is I recognize when we don't anticipate something going awry and then it does, it's like a tsunami happened in our life and business, and it just seems to be something that is harder to get through than if we just said, hey, if this thing happens, or I get derailed, or my kid stays homesick from school, or, financially it doesn't end up working out, or I can't get X, Y, and Z to answer me, what am I going to do? How can I get through this? Okay. Which brings me to part 4, which is your stuck plan. When you get stuck or when you feel overwhelmed, what are you going to do? When you feel like throwing in the towel, when you feel like being like, fuck this, I did not sign up for this, who are you going to connect with? Where's your accountability? Because those are important things that you do not miss. I hope that all of you have a coach or a community that you can connect with, because that is a vital part of this. I have, within my embodied earner community, every single Monday, we call it Make Money Moves Monday, where you literally say, what are my 3 needle movers for this week? We are being held accountable. We are calling it out and sharing it. If you don't have that, I'd like to invite you to become part of our community. However, if that is not something you're ready to do right now, I highly recommend finding yourself an accountability partner, because it is much easier to hide and let the overwhelm and the tsunami take over than when we have shared our plan with someone else. Step number 5. What do I need to move or deprioritize in order to make this happen? This is a really big one. Oftentimes, in order to get those 3 needle movers completed, we need to say no to something else that isn't as important. Or we need to say, you know what? This week I'm going to ask my kid to fold the laundry, or I'm just going to let the bathroom cleaning move until next week, because really this is more important and I can deal with that. So really thinking about, when you look at your week, can you get someone to help with carpool? Can you wait to do something that's not as important, so that these things that are on your heart and mind and are important for the growth and future of your business can get accomplished? I've already gone over this, but step number 6 that's so important is putting it in your calendar. Okay, I know I mentioned that lightly and I think step 1, but if you haven't done that already, take the time now to actually block it out, put it in there, and schedule it, because this ensures that you have allotted the time for this activity. And that's it. That is your weekly needle mover. You'll be surprised that when you get in the habit of this entire activity usually takes about 15 minutes from start to finish. And the momentum that it'll help you create, not just in terms of energetic momentum, but the money momentum that this will help you to create, is exponential. Please drop below in the comments if this helped you. If you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram at The Beam Life. I am so happy to answer whatever you have, to clarify any questions that you have. I am an open book, and I look forward to connecting with those of you who listen to the podcast. And also share it with a friend that could use this support. I'm really excited to see how you activate the needle mover within your own life and business. And I'll see you back here next week.